So I've worked with over 200 families, and there's been 5 consistent traits amongst these families that make one successful and the other not. So I'm gonna share today exactly those 5 principles that every one of these successful families share. And also make sure you guys hit the subscribe button below or Will Smith that like button, because we have videos coming out every single Monday with great value and deep content. So feel free to follow along, guys. Every Monday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will provide a new video to you guys. Anyways, let's get to the video. So the first trait is speed. And what do I actually mean by that? So speed is when people don't take no for an answer and they figure it out right here and right now. They stop waiting for the right time or the right person to come along and help their situation. They decide to take accountability and make sure it happens today. They make sure they're working with the best top quality people, and they just start. They know they're gonna fail. They know they're gonna have some hiccups along the way, but if they just wait, nothing's ever gonna actually happen. And those people tend to struggle that just take their time. They're not urgent, taking their sweet time, only to realize 5 years from now, gonna be in the same situation. But those that succeed are always speeding up, always paying for education, always paying for the resources or the professional help to get them to where they need to be. The second trait I see is that they take all the freebies that they can get. So think about like a 401k match or employer match of some sort. These individuals know that these are free options. It doesn't matter how wealthy they are. You know, the cash back on the credit card without obviously paying credit interest or overspending because they're swiping the card, but actually taking advantage of the points. Now, a lot of people say they can do that, and they don't realize how much the industry has them in a chokehold. The credit card industry does understand your own human nature better than yourself, so make sure you're careful with that. But in general, they take the 401k match, they take the tax advantage accounts with the 401ks and IRAs and things of that nature for retirement purposes. They take the spend points for the credit cards. They know how to maximize the free stuff out there, and they make sure no matter how much money they make, they always are taking advantage of this, because it doesn't matter how much money you make. There's always taxes that you can avoid, and there's always things that you can avoid from a fee perspective. So trying to do that at the maximum capacity is always going to be successful. Along with speed mattering, they also realize wealth doesn't actually require as much as people act like it does. If you're young and you start investing, you know, $1,000 to $3,000 a month at max is all it really takes to build a lot of wealth, because of compound interest in time. And so if you maximize the time that you have in the market, you're gonna naturally have more money. But the individuals that take their sweet time and they don't actually speed things up to get to this point never actually have that long runway that the wealthy individuals do. And so these wealthy individuals can maximize this time, which for compound interest sake is incredible. They realize that their money's a tool. They don't just hesitate and decide, you know, a year from now what to do with it. They know specifically where every dollar is going before the month actually begins. And they realize it doesn't take a whole lot. And I'm gonna share a stat with you. So for those that invest at 20 years old, to become a millionaire by 60, it takes $290 a month. If you wait till 30, it takes $670 a month. Obviously way more expensive. If you wait until 40, that becomes $1,700 a month. And if you wait till 50, good luck, it's $5,500 a month. And a lot of people don't have that cash flow readily available. So it's almost impossible to ever catch up. But you realize the more time, the less money. It's actually cheaper to achieve the same goal if you just start today. So the fourth trait that successful people have is that they have every problem has a solution, and they truly believe that. And they know that they can either fix it one of two ways, with money or just figuring it out. And they make sure that things are figured out in a very quick timeline. They don't sit on these problems for a long time. They make sure that these problems don't sit unresolved, and they fix them right away. So if they realize they're paying too much to a financial advisor, they'll take care of that. If they realize they don't have a debt payoff plan and an investment plan cohesively working together, they'll take care of that. They know their issues don't have time to wait, and they need to figure this out now, which goes back again to number 1, speed matters. People that get to the answer quicker, whether they pay, whether they have connections, whatever they come up with to speed that process up, they're gonna have better results. It's pretty obvious, but a lot of people don't understand that. And so the fifth trait is they realize the perfect time does not exist. When I started investing back in, I believe it was 2014, people constantly were telling me, I don't know about the market, I might wanna wait, blah, 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 blah. And I kept hearing that consistent trend, and I kept talking to my mentors and people that were 20 years down the road from me that had done this for a long time. And I was like, why do people constantly talk about this? And what I realized is that nobody ever knows the right time, but one consistent trend of the stock market is it does do this with time. But within a short time frame, it might look like this and very volatile, and people don't understand how to take that. But education will solve that, and they realize if they wait on the sideline, they're not going to get the results. They solve problems, they move on to the next problem right away, and they don't wait for anybody, and that's why they become wealthy. And so I look back at myself and I see that, hey, I'm 31 now, and at 23 years old, I started this journey. And we've hit the millionaire status along the way because we consistently are dollar cost averaging into our low cost index funds and ETFs every single week, bi-weekly period, or monthly. And we don't wait. We don't care where the market's at. We don't listen to the news cycles. We don't do all that kind of stuff that the average person's out there doing, which is delaying them from their progress. And why do you think we built millionaire status in such a quick amount of time frame? Because we just kept going. We realized there was no perfect time. We just had to get into the market as fast as possible and as much money as possible. And that's what we continue to do, and why we're going to approach 2 million here soon. And ultimately, this comes down to one simple thing. The successful people versus the unsuccessful people is their mindset around money. They understand how this game works. They realize savings is non-negotiable. They take everything they can and they get it into the market ASAP. They focus heavily on increasing their income. Sure, you can save money, but you have a cap on the amount you can save because you have to afford basic life. But they make sure they go the opposite direction, and they know there's no cap on income, and they focus on that for a long period of time, and slow and steadily they keep chunking little by little away, and eventually they become successful, they become rich. There's no secret about this. So just follow these 5 steps, these 5 traits of highly successful people and people that are wealthy, and you will eventually become wealthy yourself. If you can lock into this for 5, 10, 15 year period, I can almost promise it. And if you guys love this content, make sure you guys hit the like button or Will Smith the subscribe button one more time for me. Thank you. It allows me to keep making these videos every Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I will see you in the next video.